And another question, Alex. Cardio finishers, it's a section that we do have on the kind of the website. We're looking at like these are short, intense workouts that are designed to be incorporated after you've you've done a session. Is there anything like this that you use, and anything you kind of like to use yourself?
Yeah, we do that kind of thing sometimes. The caveats being it's not done all the time, and it's got to be at the right time of the plan and all that kind of stuff. But I can give you some short ideas of what we do. Sometimes, I don't know if you've heard of the Tabata method, doing 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 4 minutes. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, definitely. It was the Japanese kind of guy at the Tokyo Institute.
Yeah, I think it was originally done on a static bike, but it's been taken up a notch. I like to do thrusters with that, which is a squat to overhead press with either a barbell, dumbbell, kettlebells. We also do them with just burpees, and if you want a really, really intense version, we do a burpee underneath the chin-up bar and a jumping chin-up in between each rep. So that's particularly difficult.
That sounds pretty rank.
Yeah, I've nearly passed out many times trying to do that myself. Another little thing we do at the end is sometimes just throw in 100 snatches with a kettlebell. What I was saying before, you don't want to be doing it too heavy, so you get a nice light kettlebell. Change hands every 5 to 10 reps to stop getting fatigued on the arm. That's a nice easy sounding one, which is sometimes particularly difficult. The big one that's probably unique to myself is a medicine ball complex, which I sort of stole and sort of made up myself from Gary Gray's principles of multiplanar movement. So the benefits of that kind of thing is you get in, rather than just going forwards and backwards, you get in sideways movements and rotational movements, which obviously are very important for martial arts people. Quickly, to give a description of it, it's swings with the medicine ball in all planes and then lunges in all planes. And that's going to work anaerobic capacity. I'm trying to do 3 sets of that, at least 3 sets of that at the end of a workout. And for a video of that, you can check out via Hardcore Sports Training. There's a video, it's called Medicine Ball Complex, and there's me and another guy doing it on there. So you can see me nearly dying trying to do it myself. I did it in 1 minute 22, which is a fairly good time. And that will be easier than trying to explain it. Just watch the video and follow along.
Okay, cool. And what sort of loads are you using for, like, just to get more specific on it, for the kind of 100 snatches, workout? What sort of load would you recommend? What sort of kettlebells are you guys using? Obviously, it depends on the kind of the person as well.
Yeah, it depends on the strength and stuff. But a general rule of thumb, about 20% of body weight. Some light guys can do ridiculous loads, and some heavy guys won't be able to do 20% of body weight. But generally find it's either a 16 or a 20 kilo kettlebell unless they're particularly heavy or strong. So start with a 16, I would say, because you don't want to be doing it with bad technique. So you want a weight that you can quite easily manhandle for the first few reps.
Okay, and what about the Tabata thrusters again? Do you have any kind of guidelines for that one?
Not specifically, not that I've thought of. We normally just grab 10 or 12 kilos and see what happens from there. So for a guy, it'd be 10 kilos in each hand. And if it was doing it with a barbell, we'd probably start with the empty bar. And if they can manage the empty bar, stick it up next time.
Cool.
It'll only take a couple of weeks to get to your threshold.
And do you have a rep kind of a recommendation for for each of your Tabata intervals?
Yeah, I don't like going so heavy that you can, just about get 5 reps in your 20 seconds. You want to be going, depending on the movement, you want to be going at a decent rate. So if it was a squat to press, it's going to take slightly longer than just a squat, for instance, or a burpee is going to take even longer than that. what I would say is if you're not getting 10 reps, you're probably doing too heavy. If you find that you're resting in between reps to be able to do the next rep, again, probably too heavy. And if there's a huge drop-off, you probably started too heavy. So I'd rather see people being able to do, let's say, 90, minimum of 80% of the reps they did at the start, at the end. So they're not getting that huge drop-off where they're doing 15 reps at the start and 3 reps at the end. So it's not really a weight thing that's drop the weight if it's too heavy. I can't really tell you what's too heavy, but you'll be able to tell yourself, I think.
Yeah, it's something that I always find with like the Tabata kind of circuits and stuff. It's getting the correct balance between like the load and the repetitions. It's always a bit tricky. Burpees are a fun one though. It's something I've used before a couple of times. What sort of numbers are you getting for your burpees? Depending on the style of burpees, we were kind of getting getting a lot of guys cheating with like kind of like a 2-inch hop off the ground. Do you kind of encourage you guys to kind of get some airtime with these, or?
Yeah, I encourage, but it often doesn't happen. If they're really in shape, try and get them to get off the ground with every rep. But people that haven't done them before, I'll just generally get them to stand up, push the hips forwards, and then as soon as they're locked out, stand back down. A major thing with the burpees is people doing a jump while they're still bent in half. So they're basically losing the hip extension at the top. So really try and, on the starts where people start doing them, don't worry about the jump too much, more worry about getting the hips forwards in line with the shoulders. So, and reps, 12 maybe.
Yeah, that's kind
of lucky, 12 in 20 seconds.
That sounds doable. Sort of, maybe.
It sounds doable until you try it for 8 sets.
I've done it. It's pretty much one of the worst things that can kind of happen. The pull-up sounds actually a lot worse though. Getting that kind of loading on it as well. Yeah,
as you're getting tired, you get less coordinated. You've really got to make sure you actually do grab the bar when you jump up to try and do the pull-up.
I take it you've seen some kind of a couple of occurrences where that didn't happen then?
Yeah, and personally have done it once myself, so it's just a little tip from experience there.
Okay, cool. And that's another great addition to our kind of like our finishers section.